Okay, so we start on the deck. There's this lovely canna that is putting out lots of flowers and has lots of seed pods, which is why I haven't deadheaded it yet. And then I have my herb tower. I've got mint and then Thai and two kinds of Thai basil and regular basil and two types of oregano in there. Then I've got this pot that has some trailing plants, and this is called pumpkin on a stick, and it's a type of eggplant. It's ornamental. I'm really excited to see how that's gonna look. Then I got a couple pots that I have to find homes for. This is a dahlia. It is the Boom Boom Pow. I believe it's supposed to be white, so I'm excited to see how that's gonna look. And then I have my little tribute to Zero that a coworker of mine painted for me that I finally got outside. It's very cute and I love it very much. So now if we come down the stairs, take a peek at the front yard here. So lots has happened. As you can see, this bed is now straight across instead of cut out, and full of lilies. So we've got the first bed here when you walk in. We've got a cone flower that is going out of control here. I've got tulips buried under there. These lilies, I believe they're the Night Rider lilies that I had in here before. And these are bits of the bulbs that I didn't get that are growing into full-on tall plants now. I got some snapdragons planted in here as annuals just to kind of fill in the space there, while I wait for this peony to get a little bit bigger. So this is the peony that we got from his grandma. So that's the like traditional pink magenta colored one. It should flower next year, I hope, if it's planted correctly. Then this is my Julia Rose that flowered for the first time this year, and she's so big and beautiful. I love her. Absolutely blown away by this plant. Got 2 rounds of seed pods here. Not sure if I'm going to try to grow them out or not, but we'll see. Then I also have 3 clematis that I put in this year because I lost my one clematis in the original bed here, and I'm not entirely sure what happened. But anyways, my clematis in this bed are not looking too hot. I believe there might be a pest of some sort happening, and I've got to figure out a treatment for them. So there's 1 here, and then 2 here. And so the goal is to get that like wooden lattice paneling and have them grow up it. That's the plan. Speaking of clematis growing up things, this is one of my original ones. And as you can see, she's doing very good. She comes out of the ground there and has grown up and spread across. I have chicken wire that I'm going to put here so that she's got more vertical space because she's running out of room. So then, this is the original bed that started it all. And of course, as per usual, I missed my spring bulbs, but that's okay because my spring bulbs this year actually were not that fantastic. Lots of green, lots of leaves, not a lot of blooms. So this spring, I'm going to go through and thin out my bulbs. So shout out to people who live near me who are probably going to end up with tulips and daffodils being gifted to them. But I've got crocus and then tulips and daffodils, and then along the house I've got my alliums. So the plan is, because if you can kind of tell right now, I've got perennials, perennial, perennials, and I have a giant hole. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my 2 orange heuchera and my 2 onyx heuchera and move them to the front here, and then put my bulbs in kind of like a ring around the guacamole hosta, which is this one. So then that way, when my bulbs die off in the springtime, or after they bloom in the spring, I've got foliage across the front that will hide the dying leaves, because it's a little rough when they're dying off. But this bed is doing really good. The leafy perennials are doing fantastic. I'm very impressed. As you can tell, I have volunteer lilies, and those aren't the Night Rider lilies. Those are pieces of the original 6 that I bought. I have not had lily bulbs in this bed for 4 years, and now I have lilies. So anyways, quick rip around here. We've got one of my original heucheras, original hosta. I had a red clematis there, but it's gone. Ian found me a black hollyhock, which is that growing back there. I've been having a lot of trouble with this back corner. Not entirely sure what's going on, but the hollyhock has seed pods, it's growing. There's another flower on it. It's also been really hot, so nothing's really flowering right now. I don't know what's going on with that corner. Stuff gets put there and it grows and then it's dead. So I think when we go through and pull up all of the bulbs, we're going to amend the soil, because I don't remember the last time I amended the soil in here. Yeah. So you can also see my hosta is flowering. And the coral bells, the heucheras, are flowering. Even the little one here. I love these flowers. They're so dainty. And then I have my annuals. Just a variety that I picked up at Cherry Lane, which is about 10 minutes west of the city. Lovely little spot. You definitely should go. The owner is fantastic. She's really fun and funny. They have dogs out there who are adorable. It's pretty good. Yeah. So then I've got my guacamole hosta. I've got another dark purple heuchera, the Night Rider Lily Volunteers, and this hosta that is just next level this year. I'm unbelievably impressed. It's going to have to get split up in the fall though, because it's getting too big. So I'm going to probably take a couple pieces of those and put them in my neighbor's front bed here, because she's asked me to kind of take care of that for her, which I have not done yet because I was working on my stuff. Yeah, so that's the original bed as it stands right now. Hopefully these are all going to grow in very nicely for me. And then we have the roses and the strawberries and the garlic. So the roses. Oh, and we also have hanging baskets this year that I put up. They've got sweet potato vine in them. I love my neighbors, and I'm definitely not trying to cut them off or whatever, but I'm always looking for ways to add more, because more is more. So this is a way that I could have more plants. Probably getting at least 2 more baskets to hang on this one with some different plants, and then that one down there needs to have smaller baskets, because I put one of these ones on there and it just went woof. So it'll need smaller ones, but that's all right. So anyways, we've got a mallow plant in here too. Not entirely sure if this one's gonna survive, because it was a little bit on the mushy side, but it did have new roots on it, so we'll see. Keep it watered, taken care of. And then yeah, I've got strawberry plants all throughout that are doing well. And then I've put garlic in here. So I was doing some reading, and we've had issues with sawfly on these two. So this is Hope for Humanity, and that's Centennial. And so we have had sawfly issues since I've put my roses in. Even when I first attempted roses in the original bed that I bought from Walmart on a whim, and I don't know if people remember, but I called it zombie rose because it was a stick that I put in the ground and it ended up growing. So I have been told that garlic is a natural deterrent for sawfly. So I have planted like 5 cloves of garlic, or 5 heads, and busted them up and planted each of the individual cloves. So I think there's like 50 some cloves of garlic in this bed right now. Not currently planted for eating. It is planted for a deterrent. Yes, I know it is July and you're supposed to wait till the fall and then it'll overwinter and etc. etc. I know. We're gonna see what happens regardless. So anyways, we'll get up close and personal with the lovely roses here. So this is Ian's favorite rose. He came through and she looks much healthier than she did, even with the sawfly damage. He cut back the dead wood to let, that was not smart, to let her focus on growing. And if you can see, we've got less and less damage, and we've been treating, and unfortunately again this year our strawberry plants will be inedible because we've been treating with a copper solution, and you cannot eat that. It will make you very, 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 very sick, like very sick. And we've got Centennial here. This one is my favorite. I picked it when we were picking roses. Just look how beautiful that is. And this is one every year that kind of stumps us because it's always the last to come back. However, it seems to be the one that does the best. So, fingers crossed that that continues. She's got quite the height on her, which is nice. So that eventually the goal is that they'll grow up and out and kind of butt into each other and make just like a little bit of a rose hedge. This is one of the ones we had to replace. So over the winter we had kids walk through our yard, and as you can tell, you can see there's a bunch of strawberry shoots and all this kind of stuff. And if you look here, it's bare because they walked through our yard and they killed the 2 original roses we had here, and anything here was wiped out. So there's garlic in there now, there's the strawberries, and then this winter we're going to be covering everything and protecting everything. We didn't do that last year and literally paid the price. So this is Campfire. I really love these blooms. She's a little bit yellow. She needs a feed. I gotta fertilize everything, but it's been so warm I haven't been able to because you don't want to burn stuff. So you can see she's got a little bit of sawfly damage on her, but these flowers are just stunning. So when they open up like this one, they're quite yellow, and then they turn pinker like the other ones. Yes, she's got lots of new growth, which is good. And then we've got Sunrise. Now, the unfortunate part with this rose is it got a fungus on it. Sorry, one of my neighbors up the street would stop to talk to me. So, it got a fungus on it. And because it was really damp and really humid, it spread. So if you look, she's kind of spindly looking. However, I didn't want her to be cut back just now because if you look, she's got lots of new fresh growth on her and a flower bud. So hoping and praying that she bounces back, or that we can at least get her through this season and she can overwinter and start again. But yeah, she's been sprayed with a copper spray to help with the fungus. And it's actually the same spray we used on Julia Rose when we first got her and she had botrytis. So that's update on the roses and the strawberries. Then we have so many lilies. So many lilies. So I put in an order with a company out east, and the order got lost, and then they shipped me a new one, and then the first order got found, and the second order landed, and now there's just a lot of lily bulbs, to the point where I'm giving them away to people because holy smokes. So that's pretty much what's filling in all in here. I have 4 irises in here. There's one right there. There's one right there. One between the heucheras, and then one over on the other side between the peony and the other heuchera. I lost all but one iris from the order that I put in 2 years ago because, as I found out, irises don't enjoy being damp. So where I had them along the sidewalk there, well, obviously like 6 inches in, but where I had them along the sidewalk, it got too wet and they got mushy. So they hadn't come up by like the end of June, and I was starting to get a little bit worried. So we were out here weeding, and I went to check on them, and I put my finger through every single one of them, and I was devastated. Have you ever cried over an expensive plant? I definitely have. So I'm going to try these 4 that, again, I got from Cherry Lane. They're supposed to be blue. They're not going to flower this year, I don't think, because they're quite little. But we'll see what happens next year. Hopefully they come back, because they're further up my yard, because my yard is slanted down towards the sidewalk. So it's up more. So I'm hoping that they don't stay damp and that they're able to grow. So, also, you can see 2 tomato cages because I moved my bleeding hearts out of my main bed, and they're very mad at me. Very, very mad at me. However, bleeding hearts are pretty tough. We got one little flower there, and we got growth all along here. We trimmed her back. All the dead stuff's off now. And then this one, tiny little stalk. So lots of green growth on it. So hopefully this year they just establish themselves. I'm going to leave the tomato cages because bleeding hearts do get quite large and need to be supported. So I'll leave the tomato cages for them. And then, maybe it'll keep people from walking through my yard. But yeah. So then come along through here. I have 2 annuals in there that are cute little dainty white flowers because I don't have enough white flowers in my garden. I've got my 2 midnight rose heuchera. So this one got eaten by bunnies and it sort of lost the fight with the whippersnipper, but it's coming back. It's doing good. Not a whole lot of pink variegation on it yet, but it's growing, and Ian is still alive after taking the whippersnipper to it. And yeah, that one's got flowers growing up on it there. And then this coneflower is out of control. Out of control. And I love it because they're the entrance. They're flanking the entrance to my yard. It's great. There's a couple of mutated buds on this one as well. So there's a double over here somewhere that I cannot... There we go. There it is. And then I have another one over here that is growing oddly. And another one. But then there's this. I don't know what happened to this stalk, but even the stalk is weird. It's super thick. So it looks cool. Then I've got my dark peony, which should hopefully bloom next year. It'll be its 3rd year next year, and it's come back quite well. So we'll see if it blooms. And I've got more lilies that are filling in where the irises were that are coming up. Thankfully, lilies are next to indestructible, except if you get beetles. And then beetles are a pain in the butt. So yeah, all lilies all through here. My daylilies which I always need more of, but they clump and they grow pretty quick, so I'm not too terribly worried about not having a whole bunch of them. But they all have bloom stalks on them, which is fantastic. This one was open earlier today, but it's evening time now, so it's closed up. But it is a lovely red pink color. I know a couple of these are orange. And yeah, I got pink lilies opening up here. These ones opened up a couple days ago. This one just opened up. There's this one. These two are probably the shortest lilies I've ever seen with flowers on them. This flower is going to be huge. Holy moly. More yellows. I believe I've got like Tiny Dancer in here, and Apricot Fudge, and some Night Riders. I also had to move a couple of them from where this peony is sitting, because yes, I am unstoppable when it comes to peonies, because I now have 4 in a yard that probably is not designed to have 4. Had to move some, so I moved these ones. They're doing good still, and I believe I moved the ones in the back there. So this is my peony that I bought this year, that I spent probably way too much money on, and I'm super excited for it to grow in. So it's called Lollipop. So I've got Lollipop, Francis, and Julia, and then Grandma's. So Lollipop will be a yellow color, and as the blooms mature, she'll get like a purple striping on her. I'm very excited about this. I saw it at the Peony Society show this year, fell in love with it, put my name in to try to win it, didn't win it, so then I hunted it down and found out who was selling it. So, yeah, that is how the front yard is looking today, which is July 14th, I think it is. 15th, sorry. Yeah. Got a couple more little things planned for it. Not sure if they're going to happen this year. Like, eventually we do want to have that grass taken out and put in like a little seating area with some stone. You can maybe see the girls, Blaze and Polly, are watching me because, oh my gosh, Mom, how dare you be outside. We're probably, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but we talked to our neighbors and we want to put like a fence kind of along the front just to keep people off our yards, because for whatever reason, even when the sidewalks are clear in the winter, people want to walk through yards and it destroys things. And we have far too much money invested in this 14 by 12 foot space to have it constantly be destroyed. So unfortunately, it is getting too dark to do a backyard tour today, so I'll have to do that later on. But this is where we are. Oh, and I also eventually plan to just have a ungodly amount of solar lights to make it extra magical, to have a little secret garden. But anyways, that's what I've got for the front yard right now, and hopefully I'll be able to get a backyard update, and then I will see you guys in the next update. Thanks for watching.